going to do. We're going to start off with, well, these are our ingredients, okay? We're going to have 3 pounds of ground beef. 80-20 is fine. We're going to go with some beer brats that we're going to take out of the casings, and we're going to fry these down. And we got 1 little tube of pork chorizo. We have 1 large can of whole plum tomatoes. We have 2 cans of pinto beans. These have onions in them, but if you can't find them with onions, it don't matter. With or without onions is fine. And we have 2 cans of kidney beans, light red kidney beans. Okay, so that's what we got for that. For our seasonings, we're going to cheat. We're going to go with paste chunky salsa, mild. I have 2 of these, but we got extra tortilla chips. If we don't use all of the tortilla chips, we'll have salsa and chips. That sounds good. We have Old El Paso taco seasoning. Okay. We have dark chili powder. We have minced garlic. And over on the table, over that way, we have our onions cut up. Pretty much that's everything you need to make chili. So let's get started. So we got these Johnsonville brats here, and what I've done, I've scored that casing with the knife, nice sharp knife, and we're going to remove the casing so that all we have is that nice pretty sausage. One other ingredient that I forgot to add, or forgot to tell you about, is that we're going to add some beer, because beer is good. Beer makes everything good. Alcohol makes everything taste better. All right, let's eat. Let's get on it so we can get something to eat. So we are cooking down all of our meat. That's all the ground beef, the chorizo, and the sausage. Cooking all this down, and we're going to let this brown. And whatever fat you have left over in the bottom of the pot, leave it. Don't get rid of that. Don't drain it off, nothing like that, because that's what we're going to cook our onions in. Onions and garlic. Good eats. I can't say that. That's Alton Brown's thing. I can't say that. Delicious eats. Okay, that better? You see all the brown bits on the bottom of there? See how we're getting like stuff stuck on the bottom? That's a good thing. That's flavor. Despite what my shirt says, we're not going to add Coca-Cola into this. Instead, for extra liquid, you get your favorite beer. Well, this isn't my favorite, but I'm in South Carolina right at the moment, and all they had was Irish beer, so we're going to have Irish chili this time. So we're going with Killian's Irish Red. It'll work. It's good. I like it. Okay, so we have transferred all of our meat over into another vessel. Now we're going to add over our onions. Forgive my shoulder. And you know what? We're going to use up all of Daniel's garlic here, because garlic is good. We got more. And then we are going to cook this down, cook the onions down in the remainder of this. You don't want it to burn, but we're going to cook those onions, sweat those onions down a bit. And to that, we are going to add just a bit of our favorite Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Now this has salt in it, okay? And the reason why I'm putting it in right now is because the salt in the seasonings help to pull some of that moisture out of those onions. Helps to get that osmosis going. And then what we're going to do, if I can get back over here for a second, we're going to take one of these here beers. Is it twist top? Yeah, okay, never mind. Twist top. And we are going to deglaze the bottom of this pan with that beer. Now, that's all those nice beefy bits that are down in the bottom of the pan. We're going to let that cook down a bit. The onions will cook in it. And then when we come back, you see those, I don't know if you can see it on camera, you see those brown bits on the bottom right there? As this beer cooks down, all of that will get infused into this liquid. And that's what we want. So we are deglazing the bottom of the pan and getting all of that nice caramelization that happened with the meat. We're infusing that into that beer. And we're going to cook this like this for probably 3 or 4 minutes. And that'll help to cook down the onions as well. Okay, so we have deglazed the bottom of the pan. If you come look over here, you can see the bottom of the pan is pretty much clean. A little bit left right in there, but the bottom of the pan is pretty much clean. That means all of those caramelized bits of meat have been infused into this, basically a stock that we're making. Now, the next thing we're going to add is 1 whole jar of paste picante sauce. Now, we have a second jar over here. Don't know if we're going to use it or not. Probably will. We'll probably use at least some of it. And this is going to pretty much be our tomato base for our chili. So we add that in, and you know what? Now's a good time. We can take this other beer. We have 2 of them. I'm going to take half of it, and we're going to pour it down in here. Oh, and the other little bit here is for the chef. Good stuff. And then we're going to get the rest of this picante sauce mixed up with the beer, and we're going to pour it out. That goes in there as well. Alright, to that, we're going to add 2 cans of chili beans. Kidney beans, sorry, red kidney beans with the liquid, with the juice. Add those over in. That's 1. This is 2. I'm going to need a can opener for the pinto beans because that's what we're going to go with next. So that's 2 whole cans of kidney beans. Next we are going to go in with 2 whole cans of pinto beans, whole beans. Everything out of that one. Second can. Yep, got everything out of that one. Let me grab a towel. We'll give this a quick stir. It's already starting to look like chili. And then we're going to let this come up to a boil. One more thing we're going to put in is our whole tomatoes. The whole tomatoes, you can either take or leave the whole tomatoes. You can go with diced tomatoes if you'd like. If you don't like large chunks of tomatoes in your chili, I kind of do, so I go with whole ones. And we're going to break those up after they've been in for a little bit and started heating up. Next thing, I mean, I couldn't tell you how easy this dish is. Next thing is our taco seasoning mix. And we're going to go with quite a bit of this, but this... Get that out of the way. We're probably going to use about a quarter of this can. A quarter to half. And I can already smell the chili powder in this. Yeah, that's about half. And this is one of the reasons why you don't want to go overboard with you don't want to go too far with salting this, because that taco seasoning has quite a bit of salt in it. So we don't want to go too much on the salt. At least not to begin with. We can always go back in and add the salt in later. So we got that. Let's see. We're going to add a little bit of chili powder into this, just to kind of give it a background flavor of chili powder. Which, again, this taco seasoning has chili powder in it, but we want to kick it up a notch. We're not making tacos, we're making chili. So we need more chili powder. And we're going to go with, to start off with on this, we're going to go with about a tablespoon. That's about it right there. That's good to start. Now when this comes up to a boil, we're going to take our meat, we're going to add it back over into the pot, let it cook down. We may add in some more picante sauce to thin it down a little bit, but that's pretty much it. So when we come back, we'll go ahead and we'll add in our meat, we'll break up our tomatoes, and then we'll let it cook for a couple hours, and